Okay, I'm back. My name is Michael again. I'm doing this in regards to the Lunker Box that I received just a little while ago. That wasn't the subscription box. That was the $25 gift box that I received. And in specific, I'm referring to one item in this box called the swimming worm frog. This right here. I'll pull it out of the package so you can get a better look at it. Now, I'm going to go into depth on this thing, because personally, there's no way it should have even been put in the box in the first place. Basically, what you've got here is two-thirds of a treble hook before they squeeze it and weld the third piece in, with two small springs super glued, not welded, but super glued onto the spring. Okay? And two small 4-inch, 3-inch, 4-inch frog or worms that are glued together in the middle after they've been slid onto this double hook. That's what I'm going to call it, because it's not a single hook, it's not a treble hook, it's not even a worm hook or a frog hook. It's just part of it's part of a treble hook that just hasn't been finished off, and they're trying to put this off as part of what they consider should be put into a box to try and catch bass on. I have already written them. I'm hoping to hear something back from them, but this is one of the biggest pieces of junk I've ever seen. For them to even consider including this in one of their tackle boxes, especially in a $25 gift box, is absolutely ridiculous. And, like I said, if I can't even take it apart without destroying it, because it's glued together. It's just, like I said, it's two worms glued together on this two-thirds of a treble hook. There's no way, you can put two more worms on it and glue them together, and you've got the same thing. If someone were to see this on a shelf at any fishing equipment or any tackle store, they'd look at it and walk away. This wouldn't even be worth, the owner would have to really come up with some verification for putting this on the shelf. I mean, this would, it might catch a fish, but you're going to have to throw it on a spinning rod. I don't have anything against spinning rods. I like using them. I use them a lot. But this is so lightweight that the only way you're going to be able to throw it is on a spinning rod. You're not going to get that much distance out of it. It's not going to work like a frog. It's not even going to work like a worm. It's going to either sink too fast, or you're not going to be able to cast it far enough to get it away from the boat. For this, like I said, this is just my opinion, and I know my opinion ain't worth a hill of beans. But if I'm going to make a channel and I'm going to be honest with people, this is not something that I'm going to recommend to any. There's no way I could. And be honest with myself. To, for them to consider this as one of the, and like I said, this was the third bait in a gift box that I spent $25 for through Lunker Box. There was a real frog, a square bill hard bait, this, a pack of worms, 2 sets of jig heads, some hooks, and there was a creature bait. But for this to have even made its way into that box as even as a secondary thought is hard to understand. I mean, I don't know if you can get an idea as to, what size we're talking about here, but this is just a ridiculous thing. I mean, if it's lucky, it weighs 1/4 ounce. That if it's lucky. And yeah, on a spinning rod, 1/4 ounce, yeah, you can cast that fairly decent. But once you look at the design on this thing, and the shortness on the shank of those hooks, you're going to get short struck on this all day long. And once you do catch a fish on it, it's going to tear those worms all to pieces, and then you've got nothing left but a hook. Unless you take 2 more worms, glue them together after you've threaded them on here, and try to fish this again. Like I said, this is what they put in for that gift box. And yeah, it says it's NAF field tested, 100% approved. Sorry, I can print that on any label and get the same results. I mean, all you have to do is just look at it and you can tell. There is no reason that should have even been, in the box. A store owner is going to look at that and he won't even consider ordering it to put on his shelf, because it's just not worth it. Nobody's going to pay money for that to try and use it. I understand that the tackle boxes, the Lunker boxes, and the tackle grabs and whatnot, mystery tackle box, I don't want to leave anybody out, but I know I'm going to. They're in the process of trying to promote new baits. But I also understand that when you're trying to promote a bait, you've got to put some thought into whether or not it's going to be viable. And this just doesn't fit that bill. This is an afterthought of something that never should have been thought of. That's, like I said, it's my opinion. I've let Lunker Box know what my opinion is. I'm going to put this on and post it out. If anybody else feels the same way, if you guys got this thing and you paid $25 for even for part of this in a gift box, and you got this in a gift box, or even if this came as a part of a regular Lunker Box, to me, I would be just absolutely infuriated by it. But I mean, and they didn't even thread the worms on right. If you look at it and the worms are bent, they're not straight. So, the first time something grabs hold of this, it's going to tear those worms. It's just no thought put into it, and once there was thought put into it, they should have left it on the floor with the rest of the scraps. I mean, I wouldn't expect anybody to try and use that. I said I was going to try and use it. The more I think about this and the more I look at it, I'm not going to try it. If you want to try it, send me an email. I'll mail it to you, free of charge. You can try it. But there you go.